going to now introduce our first speaker, Connie O'Connor. Connie is the Education Director of the Cincinnati Nature Center. The Cincinnati Nature Center has 1,800 acres for nature lovers to explore and connect thousands more to nature through online learning programs, social media, and e-newsletters. So I will now turn it over to Connie.
Thank you, Angela. It's a pleasure to be here today. We have a wonderful video that can show a little bit more about the Nature Center than I could possibly explain. All right, so yeah, that's us. That's the Cincinnati Nature Center. And, like it said in the video, 1,800 acres, and they're all, contiguous acres. Well, we have two properties, one at Long Branch Farm and Trails, which is in Goshen, and one between Eastgate and Milford. And our mission, as it was said, was inspiring conservation. But what's really important is that the vision is that people in this region will care, in this greater Cincinnati region will care about nature. They'll know that it matters, and they'll be taking action to conserve it. So some of our prior relationships with UC have helped us with that, because as you could tell, it's mostly about people. Conservation is about people. It's about priming them to care, inspiring them to care, giving them some tools to practice, working on the land and taking care of the land, and instilling that environmental ethic. So the Arlett Center, UC's Arlett Center, has been a key partner for us for a long time. They put in a nature playscape the same year that we did. And Dr. Vicky Carr has done a lot of research on how the playscape, which is a kind of an intentional place where young children can experience nature, sort of like you would in your grandparents' back 40 back in the day, kind of no rules, lots of rich diversity of plants and animals and water and mud and everything else. And so they put in a playscape. Dr. Vicky Carr put a playscape in at near Arlett Center. The Nature Center put one in at the same time. And then she's been studying the playscape affordances, or what makes the playscape, which elements of the playscape help to promote pre-STEM learning in young children. And it's wonderful the way that they documented children problem solving and working together, parallel play going into collaborative play and trying to kind of communicate with one another to accomplish rolling a log or building a fort or what have you. And in addition, Arlett Center sends students to our nature preschool, student teachers to our nature preschool, and they learn how to teach young children in an outdoor environment, which in our opinion is the best place to teach young children. We also have one of Vicky Carr's students, Ann Ross Miller. She's working on whether or not nature-based environmental learning at a young age impacts preteens and their connection to nature. And if so, what type of early learning experiences are most likely to carry through to the preteen, right before adolescence, like 10 years old type of thing, 10, 11. Of course, we also have scientific research going on with UC and also with NKU. We have a native seed propagation program that NKU is studying to figure out the best way to harvest milkweed seeds and other pollinator seeds for sale to other people, what makes them most viable. And we have George Utz from the biology department at UC. He's been studying spiders on our property for 30 years. So we have a lot of relationships with UC and the other local universities and colleges. There's lots of opportunities moving forward, because what we're really looking at now is that part where we say that we want people to take action for the environment. That's the part that's most challenging, because what people think is that nature centers teach people about nature, and somehow or another, that's magically going to turn into people taking action to protect the environment. But what we know about behavioral science now is that knowledge does not lead to behavior change at all. And even positive feelings toward nature do not lead to behavior change. Behavior change is its own special thing, right? I mean, anybody that's tried to do any sort of public health campaigns knows that. You can tell people all day long that smoking's bad for them and give them all the facts in the world, but people are not motivated by facts. And so we're trying to figure out how to motivate. We have about 18,000 member households. How can we motivate the folks that really care about nature and probably have, some knowledge about nature, how do we motivate them to use their voice for conservation? That's the challenge. And when we're talking about using our voice, I mean beyond private action. So private action, it's really important, right, that you limit your carbon emissions by driving less, planting native plants and things like that, recycling and eating less beef, all of those things, flying less, all the things that we know, reducing food waste. All of those things as an individual can make a difference. Also, consumer actions like boycotting companies that are, doing unethical practices as part of their consumer products. So that's great. But then you need to motivate other people to do the same thing, because these are collective action problems. So one person making a difference isn't going to make a difference. So how do you influence the people in your social circles? Getting people to talk to one another and practice civil discourse with people who might not agree, but people that they know, family members, relatives, teachers of their, teachers, neighbors, people like that. How do you get them motivated to take the same actions that you're taking? And then finally, how do you speak to power? How do you address corporations and change legislation when that's the only way forward? And the answer is you have to do all three. We find a lot of our members probably stop at one, which is it's easy to take action on your own land relatively, but when you're trying to influence others to do the same, and even trying to influence the structure in which decisions are made, it takes a lot more, I would say, social support, because it's not fun. It's actually kind of the opposite of fun, right? And so how do you get people excited about doing the right thing when it's not the easy thing? That's like the age-old question for every social problem, right? And that's what the Nature Center is trying to figure out what to do, how to do that now. There is, sorry about the cat, there is there's lots of opportunities to study how we are trying to promote behavior change within our organization. One more thing to keep in mind is our members are not joining us for the same reason they would join the Ohio Environmental Council or the Sierra Club. They're not joining us to become activists. They're joining us for recreation. I think that was probably pretty obvious in the video. So you have people who just want to forget about all the responsibilities of the world, come to the Nature Center to relax and enjoy their experience in nature. And on top of that, I'm trying to excite them about the idea of taking action to make sure that nature sticks around without making them feel like it's just a big Debbie Downer to hear from the Nature Center. There's a lot of finesse involved with the communication and the social support that we give people as we're trying to build this. Basically, we're community organizing our own community, but we're not telling them what to do. We're just saying, whatever conservation issues you're interested in, use your voice. And in fact, then we connect them to places like Green Umbrella, who you'll hear from Ryan soon here, because they already have these local action teams up and running. So if we can come up with a way to feed into that, then that would be a great success for us. And I think there's lots of opportunities to get involved with research and to support what we're doing.